Okay, everybody, we are going to talk today about the most devastating strike in all of martial arts. It's not a kick, it's not a punch, a headbutt, an elbow, a knee. It's the human body hitting the ground. Some of the examples that you just saw were just in competition on mats. And back when I first started training, all the way up into purple belt, pretty much almost every tournament I competed in, I think with the exception of the Pan Ams, slams were allowed. Even sometimes, eventually they changed the rules where you can only slam out of submission to defend a submission. But I got slammed more than I probably should have, and I learned some really hard lessons. And it's something that you really want to take very seriously, especially for self-defense, because getting slammed, as you can see how devastating it can be getting slammed on a mat or in a cage. If you guys ever saw the fight with Ricardo Arona and Rampage Jackson, where he picked him up above his head and just boom, that was devastating. I mean, that could be all over but the boo-hooing in a street fight. So you've got to be very, very careful and take precautions and make sure that you don't leave the ground, okay? My best suggestion for you is if somebody stands, open your guard, okay? Don't necessarily expect that the guy's going to follow the rules, because they don't always. So protect yourself first and foremost. All right, we're going to start with what to do when somebody wraps us up, okay, from the standing position. If they get control of us, it comes down from the standing position, all about your hips, okay? So the first situation is he bear hugs me around my arms, okay, like this. This is bad because I'm not going to be able to break my fall. If he's able to pick me up and launch me and turn, this is game over. So right away when somebody wraps around, before this even starts, if I see him reaching around this is my first defense, is just having a frame, keeping my hips away. If they're able to get around me, here, I need to drop my hips. I need to arch my back, and I'm going to place my hands on his hips. When I put my hands on his hips, I'm going to lock my elbows inside of my own hips. So now I'm using structure with my forearms here, not strength, okay? So the person's much bigger and stronger, and if my arms are on the outside, he's gonna be able to win this. He's gonna pull me in and collapse my arms. So I need to lower my hips. Let's come this way a little bit. I need to drop my hips, okay, and place my hands here. So when he goes to wrap, I drop here, and I put my elbows inside here. Now we can slip to the side and get control of their hips, okay? Now, if they come underneath my arms, same thing. The first line of defense is going to be my hips here. I arch my back and I move my hips away. Now, there's all sorts of different follow-up techniques we can do to break the grips, to deal with it at that point. But your number one objective is don't let that person pick you up, okay? Now, from behind, if they wrap around my arms, drop down, okay? I'm bringing my arms up like this, and I drop my hips, and I'm in my base here. I don't want them to be able to pick me up, so I keep my hips lower than theirs. If they're able to scoop underneath of us, like this, now they're gonna launch you. When the hips come underneath, you're gone, okay? So drop your hips down, find your base, then you can deal accordingly, okay? If they are able to pick you up, very simply, as soon as you start to leave the ground, boom, right up the middle, okay? Instinct takes over when you bring a heel right up to the groin. Their hips are going to drop down, you find your base, okay? Again, there's all sorts of techniques out there for stepping behind, throwing, all that sort of thing. The main thing, keep yourself on the ground. Underneath the arms, okay? Here, same thing. I want to drop my hips if I can and fight them from here. If I'm picked up, right away I have to make a hook right on their leg. I connect to their leg. Let's turn this way a little bit. So if I feel myself leaving the ground, I'm gonna hook, and I use my arms to swing like this to create some momentum to get myself back down to the floor, okay? Absolutely critical, all right? Now, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit about how to deal with somebody picking you up. Say you're in a tournament, whatever, and you wanna finish an arm lock or a triangle, and you feel the person trying to pick you up, or even in the closed guard, okay? If you find yourself in a competition, and you catch the arm lock, and you notice his instinct is maybe to stand up, okay? So I'm here, I've got control of the arm. When he comes up to his feet and he connects his hands, that's the first clue, okay? Even just a little slam here can do a lot of damage. So if he picks me up off the floor, that's bad news, okay? So I want to stay nice and attached here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take The outside arm, the one that's close to his head, I'm gonna hook inside like this. Now this arm, the one that's close to the leg, is gonna hook and attach to the leg. I'm pulling in here as I'm extending. I'm keeping my heels heavy down like this as I extend my hips, but I'm gonna hook inside this leg and attach myself. Now try to pick me up, okay? I'm connected to the floor. Same thing in the triangle. If I'm in the triangle position, I see them connect their hands like they're gonna stand. I see them stand up, okay? I'm pulling heavy on the head, but I'm gonna hook underneath this leg and attach myself to him, okay? So now for him to pick me up is very, very hard because I'm pulling in now, all right? This may not be the most common thing in competition, right? But if you find yourself in the unfortunate situation where you have to defend yourself in a fight, keep in mind that a non-skilled person, a skilled person is going to probably stack you, okay? Or go into another educated response. The person who's getting choked or arm locked in a fight, typically their response is not, clearly it's not an educated one. When they feel that, they're gonna try to pull away, okay? That's reflex. It's like touching a hot plate. They wanna get their arm out of it, or they feel a choke. Maybe that's all that comes into their head is, man, I gotta pick this person up and slam. I need to get away, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't leave the ground. And if you do leave the ground, let go, okay? So from the guard position, if the person stands, okay, see a lot of people, when they pick you up, pick me up please, okay? See a lot of people hanging on. It's a bad idea, okay? I suggest as soon as your back leaves the ground, let go, okay? Go to your open guard position, all right? Now, if you can't help it, or let's say, we'll just call this the bonus technique, okay? All right, let's turn this way a little bit. If they pick us up and I decide to hang on, which I wouldn't, but if you like to live dangerously, here's your bonus technique. He stands up, I'm hanging on, he picks me all the way up. I can switch, pick me all the way up here. I'm gonna switch to this right away. Okay, I open my guard, I drop my foot down, I hook behind his leg, and I take him down, okay? I'll try to hang on, I know I'm heavy. Okay, so he stands up, he picks me all the way up, I come up, I'm holding on to him here like this. When he postures all the way up, I'm gonna let go. And as I let go, I drop the weight from him, now he's on his way back. I'm gonna hook, hang heavy here on this arm, I'm gonna hook the leg, drive, and now we take him down here. All right, so there you go. If you like to live dangerously, there's your bonus technique, but I wouldn't recommend it, okay? Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think and what you want to see, and we'll try to answer any of your questions. Enjoy.